Here we go. Trapped in a video game, Chapter 3, Blast, Blast, Squawk. There's Pax. I did the thing you're supposed to do when a man-eating praying mantis starts charging at you. I screamed, a squeaky scream. Ah! The praying mantis did not slow down. I tried adding running to the mix. Ah! Thud! Ah! Thud! Ah! Thud! Running over snow-covered rocks with a blaster strapped to your arm is harder than it looks. With the creature almost on top of me, I pulled out my last trick, screaming while curling into a tiny ball. But even that didn't work because the stupid blaster kept getting in the way. Oh wait, the blaster. At the last second, I closed my eyes, reached up, and squeezed my left hand. The blaster recoiled, and I heard a shriek. I opened my eyes to see the praying mantis disappear into a ball of light. Wow, I almost died. Inside of a video game. I imagined the funeral. Here lies Jesse Rigsby of Middlefield, Ohio. He was tragically taken from us by a giant praying mantis while trying to save a video game world from fake aliens. He bravely led the resistance, which lasted for all of 10 seconds. I looked around me, snow and boulders everywhere, with a path leading deeper into the mountains ahead of me. No thanks. I turned and started walking back to find a way out of this mess. I got exactly 5 steps before, clunk, I hit something and fell backward into the snow. Confused, I picked myself up and tried again. Clunk. I got up and inspected the spot further. It was open air, no different from anything else around me. I tried to put my fist through it. Clunk. Ow! I punched an invisible brick wall. I shook my hand, then tried blasting it. Nothing. Maybe full blast? I charged the blaster and shot the invisible wall from 2 feet away. The ball of light absorbed into the wall and disappeared. I sighed, put my hand against the wall, and started walking to find an opening. After 5 minutes of walking along an invisible wall in the Rocky Mountains, not exactly an activity I thought I'd be doing when I woke up, I heard a noise to my left. Click, click, click. I slowly turned. Through several pine trees, I could see 2 praying mantises scuttling back and forth, guarding the main path. Gulp. I slowed down and crept quieter to keep from alerting the clunk. The invisible wall had jutted in with no warning, and I clunked my head against it. One of the creatures turned. I stayed very still because maybe praying mantis aliens are like T-Rexes, where they can only see things that move. Squawk! Nope, bad theory. Bad theory. The creature that had heard me was now standing on its back legs and making a creepy squawking noise while the other one charged. I ran as fast as my little legs would take me. While climbing over boulders and dodging trees, I kept reaching back and wildly blasting at my attackers. Blast, blast, squawk! Blast, blast, squawk! It may not surprise you to learn that the creatures with 6 nimble insect legs were quickly gaining on the off-balance person who did not post a mile time to be proud of in gym class the previous week. Blast, blast, squawk! Blast, blast, shriek! Got one. Unfortunately, I had no time to celebrate because the mantis I had vaporized was replaced with another one who'd heard his battle cry, and then another. I found the path and continued running and blasting wildly behind me, really wishing I'd brought my inhaler. But who brings an inhaler to a video game? I blamed Eric. He should have texted, "Come over. You're not going to believe this. Maybe bring your inhaler." Or perhaps, "Come over, unless you don't want to get chased by man-eating aliens through the mountains." Just to give me a choice. As I ran and blasted, the terrain on either side of the path grew higher and higher until I found myself running through the bottom of a canyon. Praying mantises were now jumping into the canyon behind me, joining their brothers in a stampede of death. Suddenly, the canyon opened up into a big bowl with 50-foot walls, a dead end. I ran to the end, turned around, and started blasting. By this time, I was getting better at picking them off, but it was too late. For every alien I vaporized, 3 more would pour through the canyon opening. The horde got closer and closer, 30 yards away, then 20, then just 15 feet. I continued shooting while closing my eyes, preparing to meet my end. Then, a chorus of shrieks. I opened my eyes to see the blinding light of 5 aliens getting vaporized at once. Before I could figure out what was happening, the wave behind them also disappeared. Jesse! I looked up. Eric Conrad, looking exactly like a superhero, was blasting away from the top of the cliff. "Hey, buddy, what do you think?" This is the worst. Get me out of here, I screamed. Glad you're having fun. Try charging up to full blast. I did what he said. It worked. I got a whole group with one blast. Eric and I worked together on clearing the entire canyon of aliens. After 5 minutes, the only group left was 3 stragglers coming in through the opening. I turned around to watch Eric line up the shot, and that's when I saw it. Sneaking up behind Eric was a jet black creature that looked a little more alien than praying mantis, with 5 legs and 1 long blaster arm. Eric! He looked at me. The alien lowered its blaster. Watch out! The alien pulled the trigger, and my best friend in the whole world vaporized before my eyes.
Ooh, I don't know what happens. Chapter 4, Reality Mode. Eric had been my best friend since first grade. The first time I saw him, his parents were unloading the moving truck, while Eric ran back and forth in the front yard wearing a coonskin cap and spinning the tail with his hand. I finally went over to ask him what he was doing. He said he was trying to fly and was getting close. I believed him because I was in first grade, and all first graders believe that they're this close to flying. I decided right then to stick with this strange flying child to learn his ways. And for the next 6 years, I did stick with him through everything. We never learned how to fly, but we did learn how to jump pretty high off a homemade bike ramps and start fires with magnifying glasses and scare each other during backyard sleepovers until we were afraid to go into the house to pee. And now he was gone. I blasted the alien that had blasted Eric, finished off the group coming through the canyon, climbed the rock wall to the spot where he'd been standing, and sobbed the whole time. When I finally got to the top, I stood over the black spot where my friend had been. There was nothing left. Nothing to remember my friend. What would I tell his parents? How would I ever get back to his parents? I stared at the spot for a few minutes longer, trying to wipe the tears from my eyes and forgetting that one of my hands was now a blaster and whacking myself in the face over and over and not caring. What you looking at, buddy? I whipped around. Eric? What are you? I thought you, I saw. Yeah, I got vaporized. Then how are you here? I don't understand. Hold on, are you a ghost? No, dum-dum, this is a video game. I just went back to the beginning of the level. I gave him a weird look. Wait, you thought I actually died? I continued my weird look. That would be crazy. That's not how video games work. You get killed once and you're done with the video game forever? Just throw it in the trash? No. You just go back to the beginning of the level and start again. It doesn't even hurt, see? Eric pointed his blaster at me. My eyes got wide. No, zing! And just like that, I found myself back at the beginning of the level, staring down at the charging praying mantis. 1 second later, zing! Eric showed up too. And 1 second after that, shriek! Eric blasted the alien. Come on, Eric said as he started walking toward the path. Hey, I caught up with him. You going to explain what this is all about? Oh, yes. Eric's eyes lit up. Isn't this the greatest thing in the world? Can you believe it? No, definitely not. Is this real? Eric shrugged. I think so. Earlier this afternoon, I finally beat the game. At the end of the credits, a screen came up that said I unlocked something called reality mode. And I asked if I wanted to try. When I said yes, I got sucked in like you did. But how did you text me? Huh? I asked how you texted me. Wait, Eric said as he dragged me into the small cave. Watch this. He shot a small blast into the snow and got to get the alien's attention. Soon, 1 came over, then 2, then 50 or more. They were all trying to reach us, but they were all too big to fit into the tiny opening. Finally, Eric charged his blaster and vaporized the whole group in one shot. After the blinding light, we heard a chime and saw a mechanical part float over the snow. Eric woohooed, ran over, and clipped it into his blaster. Now I can launch grenades, he shouted. Wonderful. Can you answer my question? I don't think you're grasping the coolness of the situation here. And I don't think you're grasping that we were stuck in a world with aliens. Oh, we're not stuck, Eric said as he started walking. Really? Come on. I wouldn't have invited you if there weren't a way out. So what happened? Thunk, thunk. I waited patiently while Eric shot grenades at 2 big trees. The grenades detonated in a flash of light and the tops of the trees disappeared. Eric nodded approvingly. At the end of each level, there's a portal that takes you back to real life. I finished 2 levels and decided to go back and tell you about it. I knew that nothing I could say would convince you to come in here because you're such a baby. Thunk, thunk. Eric took out the alien that had shot him earlier. So, I just had to let you discover it for yourself. He turned and smiled. What do you think? I think this is horrible. Eric's face fell a little bit. What? What do you mean, what? I have no idea what's going on, and Eric reached over my shoulder to blast the praying mantis running behind me. All of a sudden, I get sucked into this thing, and I think I threw up, and you know how much I hate throwing up. While maintaining eye contact, Eric held his hand out and launched a grenade at two aliens trying to sneak up on us to the left. And then this army guy starts yelling at me and making me do all this weird stuff. That was the tutorial, Eric interrupted. Huh? Eric held his blaster in the air and shot. A flying thing fell to the ground behind him. The tutorial. It's there to teach you how to play the game. That sergeant's not real. He's like a robot that's only programmed to do one thing. Whatever. And now everything's trying to kill us. And I have math homework that's due on Monday. Listen, Eric said as he launched two more grenades just for fun. I understand that you're a little annoyed right now. Real aliens are trying to eat me. But you're with me. And I know this game backwards and forward. If you stick close, I promise you'll be fine. Who knows? You might even have a little fun. I glared at him. I'll let you shoot a grenade. I glared some more. Eric unclipped his grenade launcher and put it on my arm. Try it. I squeezed two grenades, thunked out of my arm and vaporized the praying mantises that I didn't see sneaking up next to us. Wasn't that great? Eric exclaimed. It was. It was very great. Come on. We've got an alien base to defeat, Eric said as he ran ahead. Eric blasted and whooped his way through the rest of the level, and I launched grenades willy-nilly. By the time we'd blasted our last alien, we were both out of breath. This is it, Eric said as he led me through the final door into the alien base. Inside, we found a room with 3 glowing portals. One said replay, another said home, and the last said level 2. All right, I'll let you keep going, I said as I took a step toward the home portal. Wait, Eric grabbed me. Don't you want to keep going? No, I told you I want to go home. One more level. Nope. The next one is in Hawaii. Sorry. They have jet skis. I squinted at him. They have jet packs. I squinted at him. Jet packs? We stared at each other some more. Eric nodding and me squinting. Finally, I rolled my eyes. One more level. Woohoo! We walked past the home portal to level 2. It was the worst decision of my life.